before we get into this video, I just want to say, just give a wee bit of a disclaimer. This is all just for a wee bit of fun. It's really not that deep. The things that I am going to be talking about are just my opinions. It doesn't mean that I'm right, but it also doesn't necessarily mean that I'm wrong. I do apologise if I offend anybody, if I offend some brands, but we are going to talk about things today, or I'm going to talk about things today that do my nuts. Oh, what am I doing? Hold on, what am I doing? Concealer. Brands being unprofessional to you in emails, whether it's through an email or a DM, and they are referring to you as hun, babe. Can we not? If a brand is reaching out to you through email, email is more of a professional business type of communication, and this brand is referring to you as hey hun, hey babe. It's just seen as very unprofessional and just as if it's all a big joke. And I know that there are some brands that are notorious for it, and I'm not going to name drop, but at the end of the video I will be name dropping one brand because I am pissed at them. It doesn't bother me to the extent where I would actually bring it up to them. I do let it slide because it's really no big deal. It really isn't. But it's just, to me, in my opinion, it's just seen as unprofessional. Years ago, actually, it was a very, very long time ago at this point, and I shit you not, this brand kept on referring to me as sexy. That is what I was being referred to through emails. Whenever I was doing a sponsored video with this brand, that is what this brand kept on referring to me as. Sexy. Brands that cut off all contact with you and brands that no longer speak to you after you give their product or their brand an honest review. I'm going to tell you the story, I'm going to tell you the situation. This brand had reached out to me. I had worked with them previously before. I've worked with them quite a few times actually, just on launches here and there. They've reached out to me, they've asked me to feature their product in a video. They've never once paid me to do anything, it's just a gifting basis only. However, there was one time they had released an eyeshadow palette. They reached out to me, they asked me if I was able to feature this eyeshadow palette in one of my tutorials. I said yes, that's no problem, so we got to working together and I was sent out the palette and I done a full dedicated tutorial to this palette. It was the shittest eyeshadow palette I've ever used in my entire life. I didn't necessarily need to give it a review to you guys. You were able to see exactly how shit it was on my eyes. It did not blend. It was patchy. There was barely any pigment. I still tried to give it, you know, benefit of the doubt, and I tried to make it work. So I basically, in the tutorial, I done one eye and one eye different. So I done two different eye makeup looks just to kind of play around with what technique I was using, the colours I was using, whatever type of eye makeup look or style I was wanting to do. No, it was shit. It was awful. So I obviously explained to you and showed you and told you that yeah, this really is not a great palette, and it wasn't. The tutorial is still up on my channel. If you go on a deep dive in my YouTube channel, you will find it. So of course I then uploaded the tutorial. There was no agreement between me and the brand that once I had finished filming and editing the video that I needed to send it to the brand for the video to be approved, because usually sometimes that's what happens, but that usually will only happen if you're actually being paid for the video. That was grand. I just uploaded the video. However, what I did do was I had emailed the brand and I just said to them, I was like, look, I just uploaded my video and I used the palette, but I did give it a very honest review and the palette wasn't great. And that brand never spoke to me again, and to this day, they've never spoke to me. Which I do kind of feel like it's very immature on the brand's part. You know, like that brand could have very well reached out to me and been like, look, okay, that's no problem. Thank you so much for actually being honest. How can we improve? How can we improve with our formula? How can we improve with our packaging? How could we have improved with this product? What was the problems that you had? You know, I was open to discussion there, but no. You know, and like, that's fair enough. If that was just how they wanted to deal with it, that's no problem. I can't fault them for that. So this next one is pretty recent. I experienced this just this week actually, but it's actually something that I have experienced countless and numerous times throughout my career here on YouTube, and it's shit. It makes you feel like crap. And it's basically brands, do I want to say refusing? It's not that they're refusing, but basically brands not wanting to work with you based on where you come from. As soon as I say I'm from Northern Ireland, you never hear from these brands again. In this brand, we're emailing, talking back and forward with a potential collaboration, sponsored video. Everything was going great until that dreaded email came through. Oh, by the way, can we ask where you're based and where you're from? And as soon as I said Northern Ireland, I have not heard from them yet. I have literally had brands email me and we have been talking back and forward discussing a potential collaboration, sponsorship, or whatever it may be. And then, of course, they ask, where are you from? Which really annoys me because realistically they should actually know this before they email you. Yeah, like this brand in particular, as soon as I said to this brand that I was from Northern Ireland, because they did ask, they had said, oh dear, yeah, we can't work from you if you're from Northern Ireland. What type of brand says that? To see for this last one, I'm going to get the emails up because I don't want to say that I've maybe said something or the brand has maybe said something and it wasn't said, or I just want to get my story straight. I hope that you completely understand how annoying this is. Glaze hair. We are now talking about glaze hair. This is a brand that I've actually heard about quite a few times, and I haven't really took much notice or much interest in the brand because I don't necessarily do much with my hair in terms of like hair color, hair whatever. But they apparently had an upcoming campaign in either August or September. Yeah, so they were releasing a new product in September and they kindly reached out to me and they wanted to collaborate with me. They wanted me to be part of the campaign or whatever. So I was obviously really excited about this. So basically it included a YouTube video and 14 days link in bio, which that doesn't really apply to me because it will always be in my YouTube bio. I won't necessarily after 14 days go and check it out. Whatever. So I had replied back really excited about this because I was like, yeah, of course, like no problem, you know, I'm interested. But by this stage I hadn't a clue what the product was. I had no idea, okay? Usually by this stage you maybe have a wee bit of a fair idea on what the product is, okay? But obviously it's gonna be a hair product, I'm pretty sure. But I had replied anyway, obviously thanking them for reaching out to me and I would definitely be interested, blah blah blah. Their response was, they had basically asked for my rates. So what my rates is how much I charge per video, okay? So whenever I'm dealing with a brand like this and they automatically ask that, I will not automatically tell them what I charge for a video, okay? Do not do that straight away. That's just my advice. I will automatically say back to them, is there a budget? Because you're not wanting to just completely fire at the brand and be like, this is how much I charge. You don't want to scare the brand away because most brands are pretty fretful and they're a wee bit scared of you, or they don't think you're worth it or whatever, and that's fine, that's their problem. But I obviously like to be mature enough and, you know, be open to the brands, you know, respect that not everybody is going to pay what you're asking, or, you know, you're wanting to have an adult discussion, you're wanting to be open to offers, okay? So I always ask the brands, and it's to be respectful as well because I want to respect whether or not they have a budget, okay? So I had just asked, is there a budget for this collaboration? Now, I have said this to many brands throughout the years. Is there a budget for the collaboration? What is your budget, etc. And if the brand has a budget for that certain type of campaign or collaboration, they will be like, yeah, our budget is such and such. And that just means that you can work from there. With me knowing my rate, the ball's now in my court. So then I can be like, no, that's a wee bit low for my budget or my rate, or you can kind of try and work with it. Be open to offers, be a wee bit open-minded, try to, like, you know, meet somewhere in the middle, as this is now a bit of business going on here. Communicate. So, and what really annoyed me as well was the fact that, like, throughout this whole conversation, I was speaking to about three different people. Like, I'm sorry, can I speak to one fucking person that knows what they're doing? So basically the brand reached out to me again and they had said no. They said no. They were unable to share the budget for the campaign at this time. However, if I shared my rates, we can see where I would fit into the budget. I'm sorry. It's a big fat fucking secret for you guys as to what your budget is. I think my rates might be a secret too. I don't know whether it was children I was dealing with, but the level of communication was just not there. It was just the fact that this brand had reached out to me. They wanted to work with me. They wanted me to be involved in their campaign. And when we were trying to make that happen, everything was a big secret. Like, I'm so sorry that I am my business and I look out for myself, but there are some things that I need to know before I agree to working with you in this campaign. Does that not make sense? But oh no, it's all a big fat fucking secret. Like, you do not reach out to somebody wanting to collaborate with them and it being like just like a big secret, like, oh no, we can't tell you anything. By all means, if anybody does think that, like, I'm in the wrong, please do let me know. But it was just the fact that, like, there was just no communication between the brand to actually, you know, like, make this collaboration go any further. You know, like, the brand needs to understand and respect the fact that I am my business. I am the face of my business. My YouTube channel, which is me, I need to look after myself because it is just me. I don't have a manager. You know, I need to think of myself and I need to think of, like, the payments and this and that and the other. I need to figure out where I can fit in, what can I work with. I need to be open to offers. Am I willing to be open to offers? Because that's my decision. But I need to know from, like, if you are a brand and you've came to me wanting to work with me, you need to give me something for me to play with, to figure out yes, no. Whereas I was just getting completely shut down because everything was just a big massive fat secret in this brand, which is bullshit. So unfortunately, I do regret now that I did reply back to the brand and I did give them my rate for my full dedicated YouTube videos, which was apparently out of their it's out of their budget for the campaign. I completely understand that. No problem. I respect that. I'm mature enough to respect that, Glaze. Yous aren't. And that's fine. That is completely fine. However, I did reply back to this brand and I did say that I completely understand. However, as I said before, I am completely open to offers. So if you can tell me what your budget is, we can go from there. And I got no reply. Which, do you know what? Fine. No big deal. But I was just so confused. But it was the fact that there was just no communication there at all. And it was just so very immaturely done. A brand has never reached out to me wanting to work with me or wanting to work on a campaign or a sponsorship. Glaze, how you're not so embarrassed? How are you not embarrassed? How are you not embarrassed? No brand has ever done this and kept it all a secret, and not the product, like the price, the budget. Like, we need to know. It's like going into a shop, okay? Oh, I need a loaf, I need some milk, I need eggs, I need some cigarettes, I don't know. And you you go up to the till to pay. You go up to the till to pay, and you're like, how much is that, please? We're unable to tell you. It's a secret. Sure. You sure about that? This brand. I actually quite like this makeup. It's pretty simple, isn't it? But yeah, that's it from me, guys. By all means, do let me know, have you ever had any bad, funny, weird experience with a brand? Either as an influencer or as a customer. And I shall see you guys in my next one. Bye.